Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What's up, everybody? We are back, Adam and Brian, kicking it stateside for another wonderful week.
Hell yeah, man!
How you doing, bro?
Good.
Good.
A little better than last week. Not great, but a little better.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
So I guess another wild week, of course, in the Premier League. Week number 10. I can't believe it's already week 10.
Dude, just
it's done and
dusted. Bye.
So, yeah, we got that coming up. We'll run down the games. You know, the Leicester with a 9-0 win over a lowly Southampton team, which
dude, that's impressive, though.
Yeah.
9. No matter the situation, and we'll talk about that with the red and all that, 9's and to keep the clean sheet. And
that's
but
yeah.
They're legit, man.
And, you know, our U.S. boy, Christian Pulisic, with a hat trick.
Captain America, baby. That's right. I wore the
after
Captain America hat today in honor of him.
Right after we kind of say the one episode when they lost to Canada and he gets subbed out, we're like, you know, this kid, does he have like emotional issues where he's almost crying? Is he really hard on himself?
I told you, let Frank play him, give him a chance,
you know,
man. Give him a chance to redeem himself.
He has probably one of the best games he's probably ever had.
Yeah, to do it at that level and to get a hat trick and to the way he got the hat trick, like he did it a little every way, and yeah, it was beautiful.
Everything he touched turned to pretty much gold, which is what we want to see as far as a U.S. team and for us Chelsea fans, you know?
Yeah, after that shit loss to Canada, we have two positive things to look at as U.S. fans, and we'll talk about the other one later in the show too.
Absolutely.
So,
and
awesome.
We'll also kind of break down the MLS playoffs. We are into the Final Four.
Yeah, sorry, your boys didn't make it.
The Union lost, unfortunately, to Atlanta United. We'll kind of dive into that a little more later as well.
Nothing to be ashamed of. Atlanta's been a good team over the last 2 years. So.
Absolutely. The L.A. Derby lived up to the hype.
No doubt.
8-goal thriller.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which I think everyone kind of saw coming with the amount of goals that LAFC can put up, and the Galaxy being the one team that actually, you know, at least puts up a decent fight against LAFC, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, they had yet to lose to them, so that was LAFC's first ever win against the Galaxy.
So, yeah, that was huge. We'll talk about that, and I guess we'll go into sort of like a mixed bag like we've done before.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on. There's some Carabao Cup going on today and tomorrow that we could talk about. Just a few things in general.
Yeah, and the whole Sergino Dest thing, I guess. You know, the big the Dutch American. He finally came out this week and said that he's choosing the U.S. over the Netherlands,
which is
going forward, which is big,
fantastic, and of recent been absolutely unheard of with a player of his quality.
Right,
choosing the U.S. over, another country of origin that may be in a better position. So, yeah, that was big because we've been losing most of those guys left and right.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we'll kind of talk about what kind of impact, you know, he can make going forward and what this means for, I guess, U.S. Going forward and, you know, kind of getting that ball rolling because –
in the right direction again? Yeah. Because we're starting over again?
Yeah. Again, I thought I saw Greg Berhalter. He came out and basically apologized, I guess, recently. I'll have some stuff to say about that. But, yeah, I guess, usually before we get going, we've got some sponsors. Scanzano's Sports Center, the lovely location at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, not too far from here. You can reach them at 856-889-3434. Website www.scanzanosports.com.
You're going to need to rent some space. It's going to get cold soon.
Yeah.
So you're going to need some indoor sports.
I was going to say, I mean, this week has been nice, but
Yeah, this week was actually pretty nice, other than the rain.
yeah, true.
And our other sponsor is Gibson Meyer LLC, certified public accountant. Address is 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA, not far from here. And again, he's a public accountant. We're getting to that time as well. So as we approach closer and closer and you need some help, you can reach him at 215-369-3300, 215-369-3300.
Yeah.
So we're just going to roll right with Friday and that
Yeah, we can do
craziness
that.
of.
I guess before we do that, poll questions.
Oh, yes.
Poll question up on the A2D site on Facebook. Will Leicester City finish above Manchester City this year?
I answered that.
Did you?
The other day.
And we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what you guys think. I mean, with Leicester pretty much playing, I guess we can roll right into that too. And the YouTube poll question is, Christian Pulisic will have 10-plus goals for Chelsea this year. Agree, disagree? Let us know what you think.
Yeah. I was trying to think where I answered that. You put that up on IG the other day too.
I did.
That's what it was.
About the Leicester.
Yeah. I'll save
City
my answer
thing.
for when we get to that part.
Sounds good to me. But yeah, let's dive right into it. Week 10, Leicester 9, Southampton nothing. 9.
They are the real deal. They're everything we've talked about.
Yep.
There is an array of talent because it's not. I mean, yeah, they got hat tricks from Perez and Barty.
Yep.
But there was just so much contribution throughout that entire game, and to just put a game like that together in this league at any level is awesome.
I mean, yeah, you get Vardy with a hat trick and Ayoze Perez coming out. I mean, to get a red card that early.
Yeah.
In the 12th minute, Ryan Bertrand gets sent off. It's like, that's tough.
Yeah, but you see red cards early too, and teams aren't getting beat up 9-0. Like,
that's true.
I don't know if that's even worse on Hampton too, or it just shows that Leicester is. I mean, they're just legit.
Well, the Southampton manager, Ross Hasenhüttl.
Yes. That's the first time on this show that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Introduction to the wonderful Austrian manager.
Yes.
But yeah, after the match, he was like, we just flat out gave up.
Yeah.
Like, we had no heart. Once a few goals leaked in, it was like,
dude, my phone was losing battery because of how many goals were going off in that game.
Yeah, it was insane.
Like, Chilwell scored, and I was just about to text you, and I was about to be like, all right, Chilwell scored early. We're probably pretty good on our pick. It's going to be in that, range of what we figured it would be.
Right.
And then I saw that red come across the board, and I'm like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
We're going to get the W, but neither of us is getting 4 points in this game.
No.
So.
I was going to say, if we would have predicted 9-0, I probably should go play the lottery then or something.
Exactly.
That would have been insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it also, I saw a little nugget. It tied for the largest win ever, beating 1995. Manchester United beat Ipswich 9-0.
Wow. So it doesn't happen often, like I was saying. Even at 8 early this year by City, you were like, damn, I haven't seen 8 in a long time, and they just one-upped them. And when you're in a goal differential race, like it's going to be sometimes for position, that's huge to be able to get that under your belt this year.
Yeah, and Leicester, like we said, are looking like pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, again, Philly area people, if you don't have a team and you're in search of a team, look these guys up.
They're
do a
fun
little
to
research.
watch, too.
Yeah, they're fun to watch, and you kind of relate city-wise to them and everything. So
right, with like Thierry Telemann's young kid who's really good, like the Harvey Barnes, he's really good. Even Pereira's
good, man.
The right back for them, he's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, he's legit. My boy Wilfred Ndidi, as we all know, I'm a big fan of him, and
they just have a good squad. I mean, it's a mix of like, Vardy's not exactly young, but besides that, I mean, Madison, he's young as hell too.
Yeah.
I think it's Brendan Rodgers. I mean, he's got to be coach of the year so far. He
Oh,
has to.
Absolutely. We had talked about like there was going to maybe be a couple candidates, but right now I think he just
he has to be at the top.
Yeah, he just took the top.
And Brendan Rodgers is a Leicester manager for all of those out there who don't know. He was in the Premier League a few years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 years ago.
I think 3 to 4
At
years
least
ago.
because he was at Celtic in Scotland for maybe like a year and a half.
He's a good manager.
He's really good.
And when you have this kind of talent and you can put it together, it's like the complete opposite of like Everton. I feel like they both had good talent. It's like who's going to do what with what, and he's getting the best out of his guys. So
Everton. Everton. Got that in my head now.
Oh, so yeah, we won't even.
But yeah. Leicester just keeps on rolling. I think they've been the most consistent so far this season. And yeah, the Foxes.
They got something to say.
They got something to say. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, who would have thunk?
I guess we can go, City?
You want to just run it down the Saturday
Yeah, we
day?
could do that.
Yeah.
Man City 3, Aston Villa nothing.
Kind of not.
It wasn't pretty.
No, I mean.
From City at all.
It wasn't. One thing I saw on Villa, and it was pretty impressive, and I thought they were going to have a better chance in this game, is they have yet to concede a first-half goal.
Yeah.
Which is huge in this league. So that's kind of helping them stay in the spot that they're in.
Agreed.
But then right in the second half, Sterling gets loose, and it was.
Yeah, I mean.
Once you break through, they were home. They were coming off, some poor efforts. I figured City would finish strong.
Again, I think you're going to see that they're going to beat. Not saying that Villa's a bad team, but
lesser competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they should win at least 2-3-0.
Yeah, they're not bums by any means,
No.
even with what's going
That's
on
the thing.
there.
Like
Yeah,
people are saying, like, oh, City's like, are they the City of like last year? It's like they're still the same team basically.
Hardly
A couple
anybody's ever
injuries,
been the
but
City of last year, like in
Right.
history. So yeah, it's hard to replicate that.
It's just they're gonna be there at the end of the season. It doesn't matter. They can go through a bunch of injuries, but when you have the front three like they have, they should be up. They're gonna be up there.
Yeah.
And they're gonna score goals. Their defense, again, I saw they started John Stones with Fernandinho, center back. So they kind of kept Fernandinho in there and moved Rodri out.
I figured he would get that start again probably.
It just with Gabby and Bernardo and Sterling with De Bruyne mixed in there with David Silva.
Yeah,
like that's a formidable
and Aguero.
front four.
I mean,
right.
Aguero didn't even play.
Yeah.
He looked salty in the beginning of the game too when it was still 0-0 at halftime. Like he had that look on his face, like he should be out there doing something.
Well, he just seems like that kind of.
He does. We've talked about it before. He is kind of a douche, but at the same time, he's like, or was up until last week, the Golden Boot leader. And I don't understand sometimes why Pep doesn't just keep rolling with him because he does put the ball in the net, man. I don't get it.
The guy does score.
Yeah.
He might look like an ass, but
he is an ass. But
he's a very good player.
If he's putting the ball in the goal.
Yeah, and again, they should beat Villa. I mean, Villa's an average team, young team. I don't think anybody expected anything crazy, especially at home at the Etihad for City. So.
Yeah, to show up and have a scoreless first half was good. They looked like they were in it. They had a couple opportunities that maybe they should have capitalized on while they had a chance, and then once City scored, it was pretty much over.
And like we say all the time, like these are the way. Like good teams always are going to find ways to win. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I guess moving down, Brighton with a thriller versus our Toffees.
Just another
3-2.
Another disappointment. For Everton, man.
It's so Everton.
That was such an Everton game.
I was watching. I'm like, yeah, come on, baby.
They're finally going to bounce back again.
10 minutes left, and it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, just absolute collapse of the game there.
So we see, Everton with a 2-1 leading into the 80th minute. Then all of a sudden, what's his name? Michael Keane steps on the back of Connolly. Play continues. You're thinking, all right, nothing happened. And then they go back and check. VAR says that he impeded his whatever. And then they get a penalty for it. Maupay puts it in the net. 2-2.
You figure that's how it's pretty much going to end.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Trossard comes in and is
My
like
man.
the little spark off the bench. He looks great.
Yeah.
And he sends a fucking nasty cross that Luca Digne cannot control and knocks it into his own net. and
goal.
Brighton comes out 3-2.
Man, those goals just keep finding a way.
They panned to Marco Silva on the sideline. He was just like deadpan, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
This just been their year. Like, the last month and a half has just not gone their way.
He is going to definitely be on the unemployment line soon, I think.
Yeah, because it's the same shit. I mean, they get Calvert-Lewin with they got an own goal themselves.
Yeah.
And then Calvert-Lewin, you're like, all right, Everton 2-1, and then all of a sudden the wheels just fall off.
Again.
And Everton looks the same.
And it's not like it happened to like a City or a Liverpool or, it happened against Brighton. And not that Brighton's bad, but that's not the team. When you have an opportunity and you're supposed to be a better team like you are than Everton, you got to find a way to win that game. You get that late goal by Calvert-Lewin.
But again, like we said, good teams find a way to close games out, especially as well. And
good coaches, I feel like, find ways to close ways out too. And I keep trying to. I know some people don't agree. Some of our bigger fans don't agree on this Marco Silva thing, but I mean, it's gonna keep coming around. It's gonna.
I kind of feel bad. Like
I don't. I'm looking at his interview right here. He's like sitting there holding his head and like.
I just feel bad because it was like, oh, man.
Yeah, it's just more heartbreak.
Just 94th minute, I think. 95th, something like that, and it's just like. Oh,
yeah, like the game was over. Like it was pretty much. It was. Whistle's about to blow. Whatever. It happened to me in FIFA today. This morning. Yeah. It sucks.
Own goals.
Just late.
They're killer.
Yeah, that late last second push.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, Everton's still creeping down at that bottom, man.
I think they'll do enough to stay up because the teams below them are really bad.
Yeah.
Like Watford, which we'll talk about next for very little time because that game, I guess we can segue into that.
Yeah, we could segue right into that.
So Watford 0 and Bournemouth 0, another snoozer for the Cherries back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, like we finally gave them some praise. They showed up. They played a really good game 2 weeks ago, and now it's literally Bournemouth being Bournemouth again.
They got nothing
and just going flat and taking points. And
I feel like we said though, we're like, I think this could be a game where it could be 0-0, 1-1 easy, and exactly what we saw.
Yeah, we were pretty much right on point there.
And Watford, they continue to be winless this year. 10 games in, no wins. I don't even know if that's how long, like, a certain team has gone winless in a season.
It's been a while since a team that I could remember since a team went winless 10 games into a season.
It's just what is going on. They changed the manager if people are new. That's not working.
Yeah. They've already made that change.
That wouldn't help them to do another manager. Who knows? They could go through 3 goddamn managers this year.
The way they've had problems with the managers and everything, if they go down, I think they sell off any big-name players they have, and they're going to be one of those teams that is going to be in risk of a double.
Right.
Because, I don't know, it's just a poorly run organization right now from the top.
It's pretty bad. I mean, and Del Fueu is good. He gets in good positions. He just I don't even think he has a goal this year.
Dude,
maybe one.
There's a lot of guys with talent on this team that don't have goals this year.
And you saw like Diacore, he gets a goal last week, but from their front like 3, they're not getting any production.
They're playing a 5-3-2.
Which is just
it's like they're
super safe.
It's like they're literally trying to play to draw every game.
Yep.
And basically, something analytically tells them that by the end of the year, that'll give them enough to not go down. But I don't think that's going to be the case, especially the way some upsets have been this year.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get some wins and score some goals because they're negative, what? I don't even know. They got to be negative
16.
Yeah, in the goal differential. So
looking at it right now.
They're just in bad shape. Looking at this roster, I don't see where the spark's going to come from. I mean, Tom Cleverley's a good player. Andre Gray every once in a while. Like you said, De La Fleu, Pereira, but like
Nathaniel Chaloba, the old Chelsea lad.
Yeah, there's nothing there. And with 5 defenders, they can't D. So Welbeck's not getting any playing time. And I don't know if he's hurt again. He wasn't even in the 18, I don't think, this week.
Well, that's called playing it safe.
Yeah,
because you're just basically, like you said, sitting back, trying to get that draw. And, hey, if that's the way he wants to play and he wants to keep getting 0-0 draws, like,
it doesn't work, man.
you might as well just go down.
Yeah.
Like, what? So they have 5 points.
Yeah.
Through 10 games.
That's...
And I think the bad teams are starting to really see that separation. Like your Newcastles, Southampton, Norwich, and Watford
they're your 4 that are
going to be buying it.
Right. One of them staying alive. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to.
I don't even know.
One of those 4 is going to get to stay up again, and it'll probably be Southampton because that's what they do.
They just don't get any scoring, period.
Yeah.
But
somebody's going to have to do something in January. One of those.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody else is going to continue to get separation on you as the year's going.
Because somebody's going to pick up a win, and not everyone. You can't just keep drawing.
No.
Like
drawing and losing doesn't get you anywhere.
You got to get at least one win, like maybe a month.
Yeah.
To really stay.
Is that too much to ask? Like
some teams, yeah, because
it's got to be hard to be a fan of those
these bad teams don't score.
Yeah. This is one of those sports, man. You got to give these people a lot of credit who are fans of these bad clubs and are like,
and they're still going to come out
loyal, hardcore every week out there in the pouring rain, you know, like, and they know there's pretty much no chance their team's going to win the game.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
nothing.
Says a lot.
But that's why they have good fans and very passionate, and why soccer's king over there.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
All right. Next game we'll talk about West Ham. Drew Sheffield 1-1.
Yeah.
You get a nice Mousse goal again. He's feeling pretty good about himself. And West Ham have not won. Funny, West Ham haven't won their last 9 games in October, dating back 3 years ago, which is like kind of weird. So October's not very friendly to the Yamas.
I'm going to remember that stat going into next year when we're doing our picks.
Stay away from West Ham.
Yeah, stay away from West Ham in October.
I don't know what's the deal, but apparently they suck in October.
Your Blades get another point on the road, man.
Yeah, unbeaten in the last 3. They're doing enough. They're doing exactly what it takes to stay up.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You win, you draw. You're not losing that much. They're in 8th with a positive goal differential, which is crazy. 10 games in.
I would be thrilled to be a Sheffield fan right now.
10 games in, I don't think the wonderful people of Sheffield would be like, we would be in 8th place.
I legitimately probably not. Even the biggest fan wouldn't have told you.
Shut the hell up. We would not be in this.
They would have been happy to just stay up in that range of like probably 12 to 15.
I think they would be happy at least out of the bottom 3.
Yeah, absolutely. But to be sitting in 8th and to be looking good with a big win under Arsenal under their belt, a really well played game against Liverpool under their belt. I mean, they're having a good year. Did I pick? That's the one did I pick?
You got that right.
I did pick that one, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, I thought so. It's been a while, so I was like, hold on, I'm pretty sure I got a 4-pointer again.
I remember
for the first time in a while.
That was the one that
much
you hit
needed.
On. Yeah,
much needed 4-pointer.
What was that? Yep. I say you had a pretty good week though. You bounced back.
Big time.
So that was a good 4-pointer.
My back
for
was
Brian.
up against the wall.
They just couldn't. West Ham just couldn't get that last one.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, you've taken now the table's turned back again, and you've taken a 4-point lead, 33-29.
Awesome.
Because I only got 1, and you got 6
this week.
You had a good 6-point.
Yeah, I had 2 results and this 4-pointer.
Solid, man.
I needed it.
Very solid.
I needed it. I was telling people at this wedding the other day. I kind of gave up gambling, but if you want to get into a little bit of soccer gambling, follow our picks because between you and I, we've been pretty on point, bro, through this season. At least
it's been fun.
We're nailing at least 1 game a week, like score and everything. So if you're into sports betting as well and you want to dabble in soccer, we might be your guys.
I was to say.
I just don't bet them myself because I don't seem to win them. But if I can pick them, then they seem to come out. So.
A hot gambling tip per week.
Yeah.
The gambling corner should be involved in our show.
Hey, who knows? It's 2019, bro.
I don't even know.
Everybody's on that on the sports betting app. So
I'm the most unlucky person probably out there, so I would be just horrible.
Well,
I would
that's why
say something, and then the opposite would happen.
yeah, I don't know. You made some
Don't
good
take my
picks.
advice.
I've always been, once I put my money on it, then it doesn't come out. But if I don't put my own money on it, then it always seems to come out. I've won so many people money over the years being like, dude, just play this game, trust me, and it worked. So
Props.
yeah, man.
Prop.
So I mean, there's not much else you want to say about that game other than
Nah,
that-
not really.
yeah. I mean, Blades did their thing. So
They
big
did
ups,
the thing.
big ups, and thanks for our Twitter follower too, our Sheffield
Oh yeah.
group. So that was
Slowly trying to get every team on board.
trying to get teams on board, the supporter groups on board. Chelsea's got a
Chelsea
big,
US.
yeah. I've been just plugging them away. They have not yet to follow us back yet, but hopefully,
Soon enough.
yes.
But yeah,
Last Saturday game,
my wonderful Chelsea Blues 4, Burnley 2, and our Captain America Christian Pulisic
Yes.
with a hat trick.
yes.
A hat trick.
Captain America.
Look at
The hat.
his hat.
The hat.
But yeah, I mean, finally, this kid, I don't even know what happened. I feel like I was talking to my dad this weekend. I was watching with him, and I was like, I guarantee after that US-Canada game, Christian's father got on the phone with him and said, don't you ever fucking do that.
Yeah.
Don't you ever show that you're crying on the bench like that and show that weakness and emotion. Like, you're way better than that. Knock it off.
Yeah.
And I guarantee he's like, all right.
Dude,
Because his dad was a former player, too. He knows, like, and Christian is, like, you know, supposed to be our savior. You know the cameras are going to be on you.
There's a lot riding on his shoulders, man.
There is.
He's been, that face since all Donovan and Dempsey have gone. It's kind of like, who's going to carry this team? And it was put on him. He's been the guy playing at the highest level
Yeah.
in club play. So, I mean, a lot's been expected. And the Chelsea career did not start off, like, on fire, but we expected that. When somebody comes into this, we understand that. But a lot of Americans don't necessarily. All they see is, oh, this kid went there and he's not producing. Typical American can't play.
Look at the stats, yeah.
Yeah, like, dude,
We're big stat people.
he can play, and he proved it this week. Got his hat trick, shut some people up, I hope.
I mean,
And he's going to find his way into that roster more and more, and it's starting to scare me. That team's looking good, bro.
yeah.
That team is looking really
Speaking of
good.
a team that's looking pretty consistent this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
After a week one just bashing and, like, you were like, holy shit, Chelsea's going to be horrible. What's going on here? They can't add anybody. And then Frank
now it's
figured it
like,
out.
whoa, maybe that's something that I was thinking about. I'm like, is this transfer ban on Chelsea like a blessing in disguise? Because now you're forced to play with what you have, and you're forced to rely on the youngsters. Like, Tomori's been a freaking revelation in the back line. He's been awesome. That tackle he made when I think it was Jay Rodriguez was on the break and he slid from behind.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, he's been awesome. And Mason Mount obviously has been great. Tammy, he's been good too, obviously with 8-9 goals so far. But
Frank's got to be in a close second then for manager of the year right now.
I'm saying, yeah, he's definitely. I think he's definitely in the top 4-ish, maybe top 3, just based on results and expectation. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're sitting in
Like him and Brendan Rodgers are probably like. There's no way you'd say Leicester and Chelsea would be 3-4 at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe in the beginning.
Especially after 1 week in, it's like the wheels were falling off, and
Yeah, you get absolutely housed by United week 1, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, and then now it's
and
just
United's not even that good, and you see that, and you're like, a couple weeks in, you're like, what are they doing? And then boom, they just roll, and it's how many in a row now? They've
in
overall
all competition. I think
it's
8?
like 7 or 8,
Yeah.
in like all competition. So they're really playing good.
right now. I mean, we were saying in the beginning, it was like, well, what is it like? Integration, new team, like these new kids, trying to start. Who knows what it was?
I think in the beginning he wasn't even rolling with the kids. Mount was getting the time. Mount was doing good, but he was still kind of like he was trying to lean on a veteran here and there and playing Giroud and And I think finally after he realized like 2-3 weeks in, he's like, listen, I got these young kids here. Obviously, you knew what Tammy did last year for Villa stat-wise. Like,
Right.
roll with him. And as soon as he plays him, he went for 2 in his first game.
Yep.
2 in his second, I think, too.
He had a Hattie that one game.
Yeah, like he's made all the right moves
Right.
with limited ability to add and do things like that. So I'm impressed.
He's been good.
And I'm not easily impressed by Chelsea. So
I mean, they're being and also really injuries have kind of forced the young kids too. Now you have to play. I mean, Conte has barely been healthy this year. Obviously, Tony Rudiger's been out. I think he played maybe 30 seconds or 30 minutes maybe this year so far.
yeah.
He's been struggling. Christensen's been hurt. So to force Tomori in there, and he's been great.
Tomori's been great. Zuma's still been a little questionable.
Zuma's been questionable, but he'll be out then because then they'll put Rudy and
Tomori
together.
Yeah, which just makes you look even a little more dangerous.
Yeah. And, I mean, again, Conte's barely played, and Jorginho's been awesome this year.
Yeah.
Kovacic has been good. I mean, everyone's been
Williams
pretty
healthy
solid.
again. I mean, yeah,
It could be dangerous, man.
Lineup looks good, man.
Could be very dangerous going forward. So
Yeah.
I think the sky's the limit on this so far.
Good for you.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked.
Not
I was
good
happy.
for me.
Not good for you at all.
Yeah. Sunday was not good for me.
Let's see. What was that first one? Newcastle and Wolves,
That was the starter.
1-1 draw.
I think we pretty much predicted that one, too.
Yeah, we said this is we've said before, Wolves are the draw kings.
Yeah.
They don't do anything but draw.
Yeah. But see, again, in this situation, I guess you're on the road. It's not bad for them to get a point, where it's worse for Newcastle to give up that late goal again and not get, the 3 at home.
Yeah,
It's just going to keep them down at that bottom there.
again, we could probably say this every goddamn week that where are these two guys? And everyone who's watched, we're like, okay, where's Almiron?
Yeah. Gone.
Where's Joelinton?
Gone. Not doing anything.
He just looks bad. He's in his own head, Joelinton.
Yeah, I don't.
Because he got a through ball like down the wing, and he just like completely missed it.
Yeah.
Like just took his eye. I'm like,
Well, I guess when you've
and then they were booing him, and I'm like, rightfully so. You
And
probably should.
they should, but when you haven't gotten anything of value in like 3 games to play with, like when they do get to your feet, sometimes it's like you don't know what to do with them.
He's
So
just,
it's
I
not
think
just on him. They leave him out there on an island like this 4 or 5-4-1 that they run. Like I don't know. He's not enough of a creator to be in that offense.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that offense. I feel like you're just putting your striker out there to fail most of the time, and you're playing a lot of defense.
Yeah. I don't even know because, the first 2 games of the season we're like, oh, yeah, Joelinton, if he can get some service and he'll put in some goals, and 6 weeks later it's like the guy's invisible out there.
Yeah.
And now he's in his own head. He's thinking too much before he even gets the ball, and he's not reacting or anticipating anymore. He's just already thinking of like, oh, something could go wrong or this and that. It's just I think I think he needs to get sat down for maybe a week and just get him like a little breather. Like, don't force him out there if he's not in it. Like,
Yeah. It's just very stale in Newcastle right now.
Yeah, very stale. I mean, again, and you go back to Wolves, it's not like they had that little stretch there where they weren't playing very well. But now, I mean, they're going back to that same old getting the draws,
Yeah.
playing good defense. But,
They're in decent shape.
I mean, they're just not getting anything. I mean, Johnny got the goal, which, whatever. He's all right. But, I mean,
Johnny's all right.
they're not. Johnny is all right, guys.
They play Villa tomorrow. I was just
Oh, do they?
popping
Nice.
in on the Carabao Cup real quick, see what's going on.
Just if Raul Jimenez isn't scoring for Wolves, they're not getting anything going.
Yeah.
Besides him,
That kid Traore had the one good game against City, but
man, he's a quick motherfucker.
dude,
on
he's
the
fat.
wing.
FIFA
Watching
reference
that game,
again.
I'm like, whew.
He is the fastest card in FIFA right now.
Yeah.
They came out with a
Like
special
a 90
card.
something.
He was a 97 after that game. That was his special card, and he was a right back. And I use him. I just come up the wing and feed it off to either like Willian or somebody up there with speed too. And then they just came out with the Halloween cards, and they made him a right wing for the Halloween card. And he's an 85 overall with a 98 speed.
85.
Yeah, like
Wow.
yeah, they gave him these Halloween cards are cool because they'll fluctuate throughout the year as there's
Okay.
like different moons and stuff. They change the stats, but yeah, he is currently the
Spooky.
fastest card in the game, and he's a pretty good talent. So
I think this might have been one of the main games.
it was, yeah.
I think, unfortunately. So I was forced to watch, and watching him, I'm like, wow, this fucker, he's fast as hell.
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
he's a good player to watch.
But again, I think both teams are kind of stale, and both teams will probably remain to be just down at the bottom, unless Newcastle signs a striker in January,
Yeah,
which I doubt because they just threw all this money in the offseason to Joe Linton so
they're gonna end up. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. They're gonna end up getting some money back because they're gonna be loaning or selling some of these guys off when they're going down to the championship.
I think it'd be funny if they just loaned Joe Linton right back
Yeah, it'd be like,
to where was he, Hoffenheim or something like that,
you
in
can have him back.
the German Bundesliga. But yeah, it's like he needs some kind of confidence boost or something.
Yeah. He needs to go to a team like City and sit on a bench and be around some other Brazilian guys and like more talent, I think.
Is he
'cause
feeling homesick like a usual Brazilian?
The kid's 18 though. I mean,
Yeah.
we gotta give
Toughen
him a little
up.
bit. Speaking of two flat teams, Everton did take a 1-0 lead over Watford in the Carabao Cup too. So,
Boring.
yeah.
What else? Nothing crazy.
No. Nothing too crazy from that game.
I saw Leicester's winning, or did win,
Leicester is currently winning.
against
They were up 3-1.
Burton.
Yeah. I was right on there too. Let me get right back.
And then
at it.
City and Southampton, I have it up. Oh, Everton scored again.
Ah, look at that.
Look at
Sealing
that.
the deal. Yeah, City just beat Southampton 3-1. Southampton actually scored. Holy cow.
Nice.
And yeah, Leicester 3-1 over Burton just about to end. Colchester, who knocked out Spurs
Did they
in
win
this
again?
tournament, is 3-1. They were playing Crawley Town, so we kind of
Oh, shit.
after they beat Spurs, you kind of figure you can't lose to Crawley Town.
They're going to be this year's Lincoln City.
It's pretty awesome. Like, I'm just hopping on this Colchester bandwagon just because they beat Spurs and knocked them out of the tournament. Anybody who does,
Send us a Colchester jersey.
hell yeah, please send them our way. And Sunderland and Oxford United are going to Pens, so that's the only game that's
Way
pretty
the
much any
nuts.
of excitement, I guess, at this point right now in that tournament.
Word.
And we're sitting here watching just Messi dominate La Liga right now. He's having a great game.
Oh, the announcer's sucking his dick.
Oh,
too.
yeah, they were loving Messi.
A little too much.
Yeah, like, we all know he's good, dude, but, like, oh, man, he was all up on him.
I'm a Ronaldo guy, so
I'm a neither.
I make my own path.
I recognize both to be the most talented players in the last generation, but I just don't like certain things about either of their games as far as in personalities. So
You got to look at the whole portfolio and resume,
yeah,
and not just on a domestic level. You
I'm-
got to look at international. Messi hasn't done shit. Ronaldo's won Euros and whatnots, and
oh yeah, he has, and with less talent around him.
that's the
I
only
believe.
thing I think that would give him.
I think the Argentinian teams had more talent than some of these Portugal teams, and the Portugal teams have gotten
Those
farther.
South American teams are fucking crybabies.
Yeah.
Do you want to get mad and talk about your Gunners?
Yeah, I figured that's where we were going. You're trying to get me all fired up talking about these two.
I have
and,
to.
and
You
now
have to
we're-
give the people what they
I
want.
know. That's what we're here for. And once again,
Go off, King.
oh, my God, dude. Home, you go up 2-0. Like, bam, bam. Like, it's like, here we go. We turned it around. 2-0. Socrates with a goal. David Luiz with a goal. And you're like, all you got to do is play defense.
Yep.
Against a Crystal Palace team that, yes, has been decent. They've been pretty good this year, but they're not that good on the road. You're supposed to be that team at home. You're supposed to be a second-half team, and you just fall apart. You absolutely fall apart. Your captain's bitching and crying. It's like I thought Xhaka was a good pick for a captain, but when you have a reaction like that, when you're taken off the pitch, that's not leadership.
Yeah.
He's going to lose the captaincy, I think, now. Everybody on Twitter that I'm friends with over there, all the Arsenal supporters from England, are absolutely dogging the guy. Like, there's some trouble here. And I know they're fifth, and I know they're still in that same little position, but if you keep doing shit like this, the Chelseas and the Leicesters and the Cities and the Liverpools are going to pull away, and it's going to be a typical Arsenal year.
Fifth place.
And you're going to finish in fifth, and you're going to get your free little berth into the
Europa League.
The Europa League, and you're going to make it to a semi or a final, and you're going to lose, and you're going to miss Champions League again.
And you're going to play Bratislava on the road.
Yeah, I'm tired of, I want a game on, national television. I am tired of having to dig through these apps to find one of your cup games or because you can't make a damn Champions League. Is that good enough? That's all I have to say.
I just think it's funny.
I know you do. My blood pressure is just rising week after week.
It's just typical Arsenal, just shit in the bed.
It is. That's not the game to tie. Like I say, those are the games. You got to get those 3 points there. You got to stay within that little arm's length of the rest of the
I used to
pack.
think it was Arsene Wenger just being an old, fuck.
No. It's just the
it's
Arsenal way. Because he was great. I mean,
starts from the top.
As much as Arsene drove me crazy late in his, he was getting a little old and outdated.
And he didn't know how to zipper up his jacket.
Yeah. But he was a great coach, and he did great things for this game. And it's just Arsenal. It's just one of those things of being an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And I'm loyal to my team, so I'm always going to be an Arsenal fan, but these foxes keep making me I like watching that team, so I'm not going to change my team, but I might start watching less of Arsenal games and watching more LC games for a little bit.
Verbal meme of you looking back at Leicester, that one meme of the girl and the guy. And it's you looking back at Leicester and Arsenal's next to you.
Yeah, and a little fox.
Just he's checking you out.
I am.
Yeah. I wish I could say I feel bad, but I don't.
Yeah. So we don't. We're done with that game. Can we? Done with that game?
Yeah.
Do you want? I mean, you're welcome to say what you felt. You watched it too.
I did. I was happy for Papa to get his goal. That was about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Palace again. I don't know. They're like the most inconsistent team ever in this league, and they get a penalty from the captain Milivojevic, and then Andre Ayew's been kind of saving their ass too this year. So I don't know. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be going off right now too.
Yeah.
Because it's just the same old shit every year, drawing people that they shouldn't. And we saw they barely pulled it out against Guimarães on Thursday in the Europa League. Had to come back, but get 2 goals late.
Oh, speaking of which, porn star Mia Khalifa, stop talking shit. She's a Guimarães fan.
Really?
And she was talking mad shit on Twitter, and she did a video when they were up, and she was running her mouth, and we came back and beat you, Pepe. So I love you, though. So if you want to say hi, follow us, please. But
I love your
stop
videos.
talking shit, and we're going to beat you in the second leg, too.
I love your videos. Oh, getting off the rails already. Love it.
Hey, that's what we do. But you keep us on the rails. You're like the level one.
I'm the conductor.
You are.
But yeah, I don't know. Arsenal, hey, it must suck.
Right now it sucks.
And Granit Xhaka is a little piece of shit too.
That's
all I have to say.
He is. He's a little bitch, and Ozil's lost his way, and
So I guess for the people that didn't watch, the captain Granit Xhaka, he was getting subbed off, and there was booze because of obviously everyone's frustrated, and he cups his ear and basically mouths like "fuck off" to the crowd.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere these days.
You can't.
It was caught, and then immediately he takes the jersey off and goes to the tunnel, doesn't even sit on the bench for the final, whatever.
To watch his team. And they actually almost pulled it off. And without VAR, which, again, I am a fan of VAR, so I'm not complaining, but they would have got that win. And unfortunately, the goal was called back. Papa would have had a second. And this is where we stand. We don't have any leadership from the midfield. And that's what I said last week, and I'm going to keep saying it. I feel like they did add some leadership on defense with David Luiz. I like the front line. They can score goals with anybody, I think. But if you have nobody controlling that midfield and captaining the team, you're going to get this. You're going to draw Watford. You're going to draw Crystal Palace, and you're going to finish 5th or 6th. So
that's what it's looking.
Yeah. And a team that's not going to do that.
No, Liverpool. They're not.
They're not.
So Liverpool gets a nice win over Spurs, 2-1. I think we saw. I don't really know what this Tottenham team is at all. They just are not what we saw last year. They were great, and I feel like they have the same exact roster, same coach. Just they're not getting the results like they were.
Yeah.
No matter who they play, I watched most of the game. Christian Eriksen actually looked really good. Sonny looked good. HK looked good. It's just, I don't know.
I think Eriksen's just trying to stay in shape for Real Madrid.
I guess. I think I really do think it's the coach.
There's too much talent on that team. Like, we talk about Everton, and it could be questionable. There's way too much talent on that team.
I think it might be a locker room, something we're not seeing behind the scenes, like there's turmoil somewhere.
Well, they've never been able to replace the holding midfield play of Ndombele so far. Like, there's something missing there without a doubt. That's a big position when you use that in this league, that if you have one that's above the rest, like a Fernandinho or a Milner or any of them, it can make a big difference, or Fabinho, you see from the better teams. But, yeah, Harry Kane scores in the first minute, and you're like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
And then there was really no push the rest of the game, and they let Liverpool creep, and they end up losing 2-1.
Again, good teams find ways to win.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of the theme of this week. Like
yeah.
You see it, and Liverpool, I think there was no doubt in anybody's mind that they were going to eventually come away with the win. They were pushing for it the whole second half. The penalty happens, Salah converts, and it's like, and Spurs are just dead throughout they start the game great, and then they just teeter off. And I cannot explain another team. I think North London. It must be in the water up there in North London because both teams are just.
And this is like such a year to separate from the pack. Like, it's one of those years where if you could have won a couple of these little games here and there, you could be up in that 4 no problem. The way everybody's beating each other up, and it sucks for both of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad, because at least one shining star for me is if we're going to suck, at least Tottenham sucks too.
Yeah.
So
that's a positive, I guess. A crazy spin zone for you.
Messi scored again.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
And the guy's probably freaking the hell out.
I know. Thank God.
This is the greatest goal I've ever seen. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. So Liverpool just does Liverpool things. Not cruises, but takes a W where they should.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty, but
it's not pretty.
They got out of there with the points.
It's a point. 3 points.
3 points.
What else is left?
We got one left. That's it.
Oh, United.
Yeah.
Manchester United actually won a game.
Yeah, well, they got to play Norwich, and Norwich is just
your Canaries prediction. Not so good.
That's live. They just scored
again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Luis Suarez. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Barcelona's just dominating right now.
Thrashing.
They are. But, yeah, my Canaries, my pick out of the 3 before the season, we kind of went out on a limb early, or not even before the season, I guess a couple weeks in. And based off of what we saw, you and I had tried to pick a team out of the 3 that had come up that we thought would have the best chance to stay. You picked the Blades. You're sitting in 8th right now. Your pick looks genius. I picked the Canaries, and they beat Man City, and I thought I was also a genius,
Right.
and I don't think they've won or drawn a game since, and they're sitting in the bottom three.
They have not got a goal from Pookie in how many weeks?
Dude, I don't know what's going on there because he's playing. He's in the lineups, and it's
Just nothing from him.
I feel like teams are just pretty much zoning in on that now, and they're catching them on counters, and they're beating them.
I think it was one of those where it was almost like a Wolves situation last year where they surprised a lot of people earlier in the season, and they've kind of adjusted, and now we're seeing like Norwich doesn't score at all.
No, not at all.
They're getting these late goals. I think, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago they got a late one from Dermich, and then this week they get a late one from O'Neal Hernandez.
Yeah, like one of these just to put it on the scoreboard
Yeah. So
when the other team's pretty much given up.
And again, Manchester United gets a little bit of a boost with Martial now healthy.
They got to be a little concerned, though.
Rashford's in good form.
They had 2 penalties not converted, one by Rashford and one by Martial.
That seems to be a huge issue for them this year.
Giant issue for them.
They cannot put in a penalty, and they can't figure out who should be the designated taker.
Yeah, like it looked like Rashford after the whole little Pogba-Rashford incident earlier in the year. He got an opportunity. He put it home.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, all right, now maybe they've solidified this. Pogba's not been playing much anyway. He comes up in this game, misses it again, follows it right back up with a goal.
Yep.
Martial gets a chance later in the game. He blows his chance. He does pick up a goal later in the game, too, to make up for it. But that's a problem because penalties are definitely in the kicker's favor in general.
Yeah.
And they're not converting. It's going to come back to bite them.
And yeah, I mean, I think they just kind of. I'm not putting anything crazy on United this week. Again, they just played a really bad Norwich team.
Yeah.
And again, Martial, it's a good, getting him healthy, but it's just a young, inexperienced team, and I don't think, if you're a Manchester United fan, do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the answer? Is he your coach of the future, or is he just like kind of a bridge gap?
Yeah, see, I don't know what they're
find somebody else.
I don't know what they're going to do there because they did extend him after that little 9-game stretch in the beginning of when he came in last year.
Right.
So he is under contract. Do you give him the opportunity to maybe move on from Pogba, start bringing in some players and try and build something, or do you feel that he's just not the right fit and you got to move on and get the leader in there as you're going through this rebuild because they have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Like, they have the youth around them, and they need to add some good veteran leadership. They lost guys like Mata and those are big locker room guys.
A lot of youth. That's why I said I just think, you have Mata still there. But other than that, it's just young. I mean, Rashford, Daniel James, he's doing his thing, and Pereira, Fred, McTominay, all young kids.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the oldest player probably in that starting 11 this week was Ashley Young.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, did I say Mata left? I was thinking of.
You said Matic left.
Yes.
Not one, but I don't even know Matic is even fit or he's on the team still or what. He wasn't in the 18.
No, he hasn't been. Yeah, he has not been. But Juan Mata's still there. But he's kind of past his prime.
Yeah. He reminds me kind of like sort of Pedro for Chelsea. It's like they're still good, but
yeah, these are all those guys from that
11?
glory day Spain team that went on and
the David Villas of the world.
Don't even mention that name on this show, please. He's my least favorite player in the last 20 years. I hate that guy.
Hey, come on. You could have some Spanish fans. They're very upset with you now.
There's a lot of players on the Spanish team that I like and respect. He was just,
not one of them?
Never liked him. I never liked him, and name NYCFC. And there's just many, many, many reasons that
too
I'm
much.
not a fan. But yes.
So yeah, well, that's the rundown of Week 10. Again, It's been, you see blowouts, you see weird results.
Yeah.
That's why I said, if you're not a fan or you need to pick a team,
Right.
watch a game. Just watch a game.
Hit us up. Like, you can message us. We'll answer any questions you might have.
We always say we love the feedback, and we love, I mean, if you need, describe yourself, and I'll tell you a team.
Exactly.
Look at Eric.
Yeah. We found Eric an MLS team.
We did.
So, unfortunately, they lost for him.
They did.
In his first game as a fan, technically.
He's heartbroken. It's like
man.
Philly all over.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's just the way.
It's the way the world works.
So
yeah, we can touch, I guess, that.
You want to talk about that, the MLS playoffs, real quick, and then
Sure.
we'll do kind of what we've been doing. I kind of liked ending the show last week with like the upcoming of the Prem. Kind of split it up a little if you're cool with that.
Sure.
So, that felt nice.
Felt nice.
Felt nice.
Felt right.
Felt right. So, MLS playoffs. We're down to the final four. We have a game this evening for all those who want to participate. It is 10 p.m. our time. So, for our English fans, what is that, 2 a.m.?
3.
5 hours? Yeah. Yeah, so if you're up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep and you want to catch some...
If you'd like to watch LAFC, probably take it to Seattle, maybe.
Yeah, I hope not. I'm kind of going to be a Sounders fan tonight just because.
I just think LAFC
go with the
is
dogs.
just...
They're in the spot, man.
Oh, my Lord. Their attacking is easily the best in the league, and they've showed it. They've had a plus 48 goal differential in the regular season, which is unheard of, especially for MLS.
Crazy.
Seattle finished second and was still, I think, 16 points behind them, which is like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, LAFC beat the Galaxy, what was that, Sunday night?
It was Sunday night.
Sunday night.
5-3.
5-3.
First ever win over the Galaxy.
LAFC started hot, and then the Galaxy kind of came back, tied it. LAFC Diamande scored twice within like 5 minutes of coming on.
Talk about super sub.
Yeah.
Absolute.
And
Big
you're
time.
Like, oh, okay. You're like, it's 3-2. I think Galaxy got one back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, this is game now. We're rolling.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well, there we go. LAFC, they bring a guy off the bench, and he just scores 2 within.
Unreal.
And they already have Rossi. Vela, obviously, will be MVP of the MLS this year, I think, in a landslide. And you see the Galaxy, I don't even know. Their defense is just not good enough. And LAFC and Seattle will battle tonight, 10 o'clock. Is that ESPN?
That's ESPN, yes.
ESPN.
So you can easily watch. Very easy if you can make it up that late.
Yeah.
It should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be good.
Should be a lot of offense. Seattle's got the veterans that have been there. The cool thing was when you got to the Final Four, it was, what was it? LAFC, which was the best team this year, record-setting team this year. And then the other 3 teams were the last 3 champions in Atlanta, Toronto, and Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
So you're really getting the best 4 teams in the last few years of this league. So it is and with these one game, it's a fun watch right now.
Definitely experiencing that one game, like winner take all type of thing. We saw Zlatan. He was in the headlines, not for something positive. I don't know if you saw as he was.
I was watching
as he was walking off the field after the game. Some of the LAFC fans, heckling him, saying whatever, and he does the old Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
And grabs the junk and was like, "Yeah, suck on this shit."
And then comes out and says that if he leaves,
the MLS
will crumble, basically, that if he leaves.
Just shitting on everybody on the way out.
And I guess he clarified that. He said nobody in Europe would watch the MLS if he leaves. But I think that's false, too, because I think that league's getting a lot better, like we've talked about. And I think we're going to get some more players coming over. And
but, yeah, he's pretty much done.
Yeah, there were
For all you Zlatan fans who became Galaxy fans, You might have to switch teams.
There was some talk on Twitter
I'm
today.
Pretty sure he's done.
He came out with a tweet, some kind of
In
basically
Spanish.
saying Spain, I'm coming
coming.
back. So
apparently he's going on
going back to La
loan,
Liga?
maybe?
I don't know.
Or yeah.
Maybe going back on
In
loan,
January
because
somewhere?
they'll do that when the MLS shuts down. They'll send guys over for loan to pick up some money and get them continuous play. Because he's not gonna he's not gonna sit and train with them in the off season.
No.
He's either gonna go play in Europe or he's gonna go sit on an island somewhere and be Zlatan. So
I don't think he's staying in LA. I'm sure he has a house there, but I think he'll probably go back to Sweden for a little bit, and then
could you see him becoming like an action movie star, like Steven Seagal, when he finally
Yeah.
retires out in LA
easily.
or something? Like that would
I
so
think
be
he
Zlatan.
could easily get a movie role.
Yeah.
He
That
doesn't
might be a poll question in the future.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic, good actor.
Yeah.
Can he become an actor? Yes. Yeah. I guess I could talk about my Union getting beat.
Yeah, I won't make you go through it too much. I mean,
There wasn't too much to really say, honestly. I mean,
the only thing that I will honestly say from an outlooker real quick, and then I'll let you just whatever you feel like saying about it, was the goal that Aronson could not put away.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great save by Brad Guzan, but he puts that thing away, and
damn it, Brad.
man, that's a whole different ballgame, I think. But after that save, it was just kind of like there was nothing. I saw nothing more from that Union offense pretty much. It was like everybody kind of went flat, and
Yeah.
Atlanta's really good at defending those 1 and 2 goal leads at home. I've seen it as a Red Bull fan, and once that second goal came, you
There were
pretty much knew that
chances.
was the ball game.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll leave it alone.
I think we came out pretty well. Besides the early goal, which exactly is the thing I said not to do, is give up a goal within the first 10 minutes to an Atlanta team and getting down. And what do? Of course, Andre Blake. I don't even know what's wrong with him this year. His decision making has been so goddamn bad.
Yeah,
You know, he comes out too far. I think he should have stayed instead of he came out, didn't get to the ball, kid chips it right over him, and it's like
the only thing that I
like,
can
bro,
put in
what
his
the fuck?
defense, and I am kind of a Blake fan, I guess that's why I feel the need to defend him a little bit, is the defender went for the double team
oh yeah
because it was Joseph Martinez and didn't stay with his man. And, like, yeah, I know you don't want Joseph Martinez to beat you. He's a deadly goal scorer, but, like, you still have to stay your form and stick
It
with your
was,
script. And you left
yeah.
a man wide open, and he
yeah,
made you pay.
Kai kind of left him, and
Yeah, he left Blake on an island, and he had to do what he had
Julian
to do.
Gressel dinks him, and
For his first ever goal, too. He had never scored in the Premier League. I mean, in the MLS.
really?
That was his first goal.
Are you sure?
Or playoffs, at least.
I was gonna say playoffs.
Yeah, not in MLS, but, yeah,
I was
in
gonna say
playoffs.
Julian Gressel's pretty decent.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
after
was his first career playoff goal.
after that, again, we were putting pressure on him, and then we get that turnover in their half of the field, and Aronson pretty much one-on-one with Guzan, and, you know, Brad, I guess, makes a nice save, you know.
Yeah.
Sticks the leg out there.
You got to tuck that home, kid.
Again, yeah.
But that's
You
used.
score, it's 1-1. It's like a little bit of a momentum, but after that, yeah, it was pretty stale. We had a few opportunities, but kind of the MO this year, it's like on the road especially, where we do not hit the target. We might get a shot up. Like Marco Fabian came on, and basically I think he hit one like 50 rows into the seats.
Yeah.
I think
Why couldn't he do that in the Red Bull game?
I mean, I think I forget who it was. I think it was Adrian. No, not. It was Alejandro Moreno was like, "Oh, the Falcons could use that kicker or that kick." I'm like, funny.
I couldn't
Ass.
understand why you guys changed up your form so much too, either, from like what you put up against the Red Bull. Like you came out with a complete different like formation, lineup, everything. And I thought maybe you would if Bedoya couldn't go, but with Bedoya going, I don't know why he changed so much, to be honest. But
I'm not sure either.
yeah,
But yeah,
I guess the other one, Toronto.
Toronto with a big upset.
Big upset over NYFC, which I was a huge fan of.
I think we kind of saw it coming, though.
Yeah, Toronto
We
was.
said Toronto was hot coming in, and it always seems to be, in most sports, at least American sports, that hot team coming in usually does pretty well.
Yeah, in a playoff format, especially a one-game elimination now playoff format. It's a good time. It was a good time for them to get hot, and they got a 90-minute penalty.
Terrible decision by that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to just let that game. You got to let your team play it out at that. Like, you can't just let that. You can't give that penalty up.
in that stage of the game,
You got to hope you're
with the game on the line, hell no.
No.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That kid's probably still crying about it.
But I was happy to see that. I was glad to see.
Yeah, the writing was there. The stars were aligned. Just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, it's the best teams left in the MLS. To be fair,
Yeah. You get Atlanta, Toronto. That's
Toronto's
tomorrow
night from Mercedes-Benz. They play at the Falcons Stadium, so
Yeah. Don't be surprised if Toronto ends up in the finals.
we said they were the dark horse coming in. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. Honestly. So yeah, that's kind of the MLS run for you. Again, super bummed that the Union aren't in it, but again, I think it's the best teams left.
Yes.
Trying to be completely objective here.
Yes. Like I said, your four final four teams right now
Are the best.
are the best team in the last few years as far as regular season in LAFC, Supporter Shield winners, and then the last three champions of the league in Seattle, Toronto, and Atlanta. So
Deserving of all four.
yes.
So any possible quick prediction on what you think?
No, I'm just gonna go. I would like to see. I guess as a fan, just because I'm not a big LAFC guy, I would like to see Seattle win, and I'd like to see Toronto win, just because I kind of picked that to happen. But I guess as a fan of the game and for like the biggest watch and what I guess would be best for the league,
Yeah.
would probably be an LAFC Atlanta final. Last year's champion. They hit the trifecta. Everybody knows Atlanta pretty well. LAFC, big LA market, would probably draw the most. So, I'll be happy either way. I just want to see two good games in this Final Four.
Me too. That's all we can root for at this point with both of our teams out.
Yeah.
Do you want to just talk about the Sergino Dest thing quick before we get into the Prem?
Yeah, do you want to get the questions, poll questions and stuff? Should we do them now, or do you want to wait?
Sure.
Or after Dest, whatever?
Yeah, I'll bring up the polls
Ralphie will
real
get
quick.
them ready.
Okay.
Yeah, so like we said in the beginning, Sergino Dest, I think, what is he, 18, 19?
Yeah, 18, I think still.
Young
He's going to
kid.
turn 19.
Dutch, American. He played for the Dutch under whatever's recently. I think did he make a senior appearance for the Dutch?
I think he made a senior team appearance. He plays for Ajax, so he's
for Ajax.
over in that country year-round pretty much.
Yeah.
And
So he announced this week that he decided that he would like to play for us,
which
the
is
U.S., which is a huge win.
a huge win.
After we were saying, like, honestly, in his best interest, to be successful, maybe he would want to play for the Dutch, but I think he might have saw the writing on the wall that there's a lot of competition.
There is.
It's one of the best, like how we said before with Belgium being their golden generation a few years ago.
We're in that Dutch golden generation.
The Netherlands right now have a lot of young talent, and I feel like he thinks that he can fight for more of a spot on the U.S. than the Dutch team at this point.
Probably. Yedlin's getting older and not looking like he used to.
He would be battling with a kid probably his same age.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, again, I think, and again, he could be the face, a bright spot along with Pulisic being one of the best players on that team.
Which is what I wanted to
He
see.
starts for Ajax, who is, again, they made it to the goddamn Champions League semis last year.
Yeah, and they're going to be good again this year.
Yeah, a quality side, and he starts.
Yeah.
Maybe not the league itself is, like, insane, but that team itself has been historically good, great academy.
Yep.
And
you're getting high competition when you are playing the teams they have drawn up against
Right.
in Champions League. So
I guess the question that I posed before in kind of our show preview, what kind of impact can this kid make, I guess, going forward?
I think is not even as much an impact on the field, because I think he is a great player, and I've stated that to you many times in the past. But I think just the impact of like maybe some other kids that are going to be put in this position, seeing him making that decision and giving, whether it's Berhalter or whoever the new coach is going to end up being, and as we're building this, you see Pulisic finally do something on a big stage, and now you see this kid making this decision. Those are two very bright spots for what has been a little dismal U.S. soccer, and I think that's a very positive sign.
Yeah,
for things to come.
Absolutely. I would say maybe not this like World Cup run. Maybe he won't make such an impact because again he's a young kid and I think he only has like 2 appearances maybe for us overall.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. I think he's one of those where we can't expect him to, come in and be like, oh my God, he's like the best thing since fucking sliced bread.
But by that time that World Cup is in our home in 6 years or 5 years basically at this point now, he should be a household name for U.S. soccer fans. He should be 24, 25. He'll be right in that perfect age range.
Yeah, I was going to say that perfect, like, that's where you start hitting the early peak, and hopefully, I would love for him to make a huge impact off the bat, but I think
you got to be realistic.
To be realistic, as our fellow U.S. American Outlaws, that we should just be kind of not patient because he already plays in a big league and he's been playing for them and starting for Ajax.
Well, you also know these recycled coaches are just going to play Yedlin anyway because that's what they do. They play the guys that we've already known.
Well, that's why we don't need this. And Greg Burkhalter, like I said in the beginning, that he issued basically apologizing and kissing the asses of all us Americans, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, wasn't good enough," and shut the hell up.
Maybe they told Dest that it's his job. Maybe that was a big signing point. Maybe they basically said Yedlin's run his course and you are going to be the
guy. You're the man.
Yeah.
We believe in you. We have faith in you, Sergino.
I'm hoping that's the case. I'm a big fan.
Or maybe he's like, is Greg Bergholter going to be the coach in a few years? No. Perfect.
Sign.
I'm in.
Yeah, sign.
Where do I sign?
Sign.
So, yeah, he's pledged his loyalty to the U.S., so I think that's huge.
Awesome. Big win, USA.
That's the only win we've had
in a while. So, all right,
actually, I just want to really quick, because this show, I feel like I've talked to some people, some women, and they're like, you don't mention enough about certain like women's like U.S. team. So I just want to say that's not true. We do. And I love the U.S. We've talked about the U.S. women's team. They're leaps and bounds better than the men's team. They have a new coach.
Yes, they did get a new coach. That is noteworthy.
Vlatko Andonovski.
Awesome.
Is the new coach. I just want to say, Jill Ellis stepped down. I think you win back-to-back World Cups. I think
it's a good time to step down.
It's a good way to get out.
Well, she's walking into a good situation, so.
Yes and no, but we don't have time to really dive too crazy.
Well, why don't we set that up for next week and we'll really dig into that
because I think that it's kind of a changing of the guards almost. Like Rapinoe's getting old.
Oh,
Carly Lloyd's done.
Yeah, Rapinoe's pretty much done in big world play too, other than
Alex Morgan is pregnant.
Yeah.
Sidney Leroux is probably done.
But the one difference between the women and the men, and I'll just say it quick,
people waiting behind them.
Exactly. Their academies and programs are ready, where ours seem to be lately. So
true.
All right. So questions, and then we got to knock this prem out.
Yes, indeedy.
So the Facebook poll question: the Leicester City will finish above Manchester City this year. 71% say agree, 29% say disagree.
Wow.
And for the poll on YouTube, it is 50-50. at this point.
Pulisic to score more than 10.
Yeah.
50-50.
So
I think that's a toss-up, too.
I said it before the show on IG. You had asked a question earlier this week. I was in with our majority, and I think LC is going to finish over Manchester City. Manchester City's
Got
run
your
into
chance.
some injury problems, and yeah, I was in that grouping.
I think the only thing that I will play the devil's advocate here and say that Man City, unfortunately it pains me to say this, but I think that they'll still finish second over Leicester.
Yeah.
I think Man City just has that experience and a little more talented. Not to say I think Leicester is definitely, Leicester's going up. They're not going down.
Yeah,
Like peak-wise. I think they're here to stay for years.
I just don't think they're right there yet.
I just don't think this is the year that they're going to surpass them. I think it'll be close, but
Okay.
I just wanted to play a little.
And then my quick answer on the Pulisic is I think yes if you're counting all competitions. I don't think he gets
Yeah.
10 plus in 28 more Premier League games probably.
Yeah, I guess I could have worded that a little bit better or maybe specified what. but
yeah.
Maybe just.
Well, I didn't know if you meant in all
I
competitions
meant more
or in just the Prem.
league.
So, he getting 3 is great.
It was a loosely worded
It's,
question.
it's
but
only
yes.
it's only 7 more in 28 games. I just don't know. Even though he does look good, the way that team's structured, the opportunities may not be there. I think like in all competitions, yes.
Right.
I think he will have 10 plus goals. But yeah, that was my take on
Excellent.
that.
All right, let's run down these games. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got a little time. We got 12 minutes to get these knocked out.
So we'll start Saturday. A lot of games Saturday. This is so weird.
Yeah, this
now-
schedule is really weird. So the breakfast game's at 8:30, not 7:30
Because
this week.
England moved their clocks back last week.
Yeah.
And then we're moving ours this weekend.
Right, our daylight savings times are different. So for that
So
1
now
week,
it's-
everything's off by an hour.
It's very weird now.
I remember this every year.
yeah.
So we have 8:30s, 11s, and 1:30s instead of
Yes.
7:30s, 12,
Right.
or 12:30 and 10. So the 8:30 game, the breakfast game.
Bournemouth and Man United.
Okay.
I think we should pick this one
Yeah, I usually leave it to your discretion on
because I'm just
the
looking
4
at.
that we pick. So
I'm already looking down the sketch,
yeah,
and I'm not seeing.
it's probably one of the better pick'em games because we only have 2 Sunday games too. So
I'm not seeing ones that are worth much
Yeah.
of anything.
no, I feel you. So
We could do this one.
yeah,
Bournemouth at home against Manchester United off a whatever win against the Canaries.
Bournemouth
hasn't scored in back-to-back weeks. Oh, man.
Yeah. Winless in their last 5, 3 draws and 2 losses.
Surely they can't lose to United at home, can they?
I don't know who's picking first.
I'll start it. Why not?
Okay,
Draw.
could be.
I think the Cherries equal out. I think they get 1. I think 1-0 Bournemouth.
1-0 Bournemouth.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to say that I don't know. United, I guess, getting a little healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth's not been great. Let's go 2-1 United
2-1 United.
on the road.
Heard. All right. 11 o'clock. A lot of 11s for some reason again.
Yeah.
Arsenal Wolves. Arsenal at home coming off a disappointing draw with Palace. Wolves, the Thai Kings. This screams draw again.
It sure as hell does, and I'm not picking it this week. We're not picking them this week.
We'll stay away from Arsenal this
yeah,
week.
we need a win. This is a game to win. You're home again. You get back-to-back homes. You just blew last week. Wolves scare me a little bit in this situation. We can't keep clean sheets. It does have draw written all over
really
it.
does.
Let's hope that it doesn't for my sake and my blood pressure. But I'm sure for next week's show, you would love to see a draw or a loss so I can flip out again.
I think, yeah. Easily see like a 1-1.
Oh, yeah.
Wolves don't score.
Yeah.
So It's either 2-1 or 1-1. I think maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't pick. Arsenal's like so
I don't even want to watch.
goofy.
Like, I'm gonna try and watch.
Goofy,
I
man.
might just watch another game and watch that one later.
Well, you have plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
So Aston Villa hosts Liverpool.
It's hard to think that Villa's gonna do much in this game. They might make it competitive.
I think just because they're home, they might have a very slight chance, like
Slight.
the slightest of chances.
And they don't, like we said, they've yet to concede a first half goal this year. So if they can keep that trend and stay in the game and be home going into the second half scoreless, or maybe even up a goal, who knows, then maybe they have a shot. But Liverpool's pretty solid, obviously, the best team in the league right now.
Like I said, Villa is another young, inexperienced team.
Yeah.
And to have a Liverpool team who just keep on rolling, I mean,
Yeah, even though they haven't looked great in their last couple
Not
games,
great.
they still find ways. So you figure Liverpool's
I
probably
think
going to roll on that
Liverpool
one.
will roll. Yes.
Okay, next.
Brighton hosts Norwich in a freaking snoozer of a game.
It could be, but this is a big opportunity for Brighton.
Oh, they could
Because-
get back-to-back wins and really save themselves from
Yeah.
getting relegated.
This could be 3 wins in the last 4
Mhm.
and put them in a decent position.
Mhm.
And this could pretty much spell the beginning of the end for Norwich. If you can't come up with something here,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, Norwich, again, they don't score.
right?
But
And Brighton can be scored on. So
they can be scored on, and then they can score.
Right.
It's like, whoa, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it.
Sneaky ass Brighton. They were like the first team we picked to go down at the
Mhm.
beginning in the preseason show, and they've
Every
surprised
time we
us a
said
little
that,
bit.
they give us a big fuck you.
Yeah, well, some of the guys finally showed up, like Trossard showed up, and some of the guys are doing what they're supposed to. So I don't know. We'll see.
We shall see, sir.
All right.
City and Southampton. This could get real bad.
Yeah, Southampton, you just let up 9-0. So your
9.
goal differential shot, you just fell down into the top 3 or bottom 3.
And you know Man City's like licking their lips
Oh,
like, oh, yeah.
man, yeah.
It's like they're definitely like
But here's the scary thing. Man City's done that twice this year. And what happened? They've lost
True.
both games to Norwich and to the Wolves.
But who's putting the ball in the net for Southampton? That's all I'm saying.
Danny Ings, bro. Danny Ings.
Where was Danny this past week?
Sleeping.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were all sleeping.
They were all sleeping. So, yeah, that's definitely not a pick'em game.
It's not a good day. It's not going to be very good on the South Coast. I'm just going to say that.
No. Next,
I think we should pick this one.
if it's the game I'm thinking, I'm in agreement.
Sheffield Burnley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sheffield at home. They're getting results. They're 3 unbeaten right now. They got a nice string of results going. Burnley, you thought Burnley was playing really well, and then all of a sudden, they run into Captain America.
Yeah.
Just halts all that.
They haven't been scoring much. I mean, I know the final score of the Chelsea game was 4-2, but both those goals were 86th and 88th minute. They were like bullshit goals at the end.
Right.
So
I don't know. What do you say?
I'm going to pick this first, I guess, because it's on me to do so. And I'm going to follow your Blades.
Mm-hmm.
And with Burnley's lack of scoring and being on the road, let's just go with a nice 1-0 Sheffield victory at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep rolling and stay up in that top 10.
1-0. I'm going to say, I'll say 2-1 Sheffield.
Okay. Mark it down.
I'm marking it.
Beautiful.
What else we got?
West Ham, Newcastle.
West Ham, Newcastle.
Ooh.
So the Hammers, it won't be October, so maybe they'll actually win.
Yeah, they'll winless in their at least last 5. They have been struggling where we thought they were playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Haller's kind of gone cold. Haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, he is.
But Newcastle's been pretty garbage, especially on the road.
I think West Ham could thrash the hell out of them here.
I think they're due. This is time to get back off the
And Steve
schneid. And
Steve Bruce goes bye-bye.
you think this is it, finally? This is the week?
West Ham comes out, destroys them. Steve Bruce,
Fired,
bye-bye.
Fired before Christmas.
Christmas time. Nice coal in your stocking, bitch.
All right, we got 4 minutes for 3 games.
Well, Watford, Chelsea. What can you say?
Yeah, let's make this one quick.
At Vicarage Road,
As-
Chelsea coming in hot.
Time to start
Watford,
Pulisic again.
Not.
If I'm Frank, I start Pulisic again. I keep his confidence going. I get him another goal or maybe a big assist or something like that. You can toy around with the lineup a little bit and get some guys some
Chelsea
time.
with a thrashing.
Yeah, let's just mark that down. Chelsea thrashing, we both agree. Watford sucks.
Still.
Sucks.
And they always will.
Yes.
Sunday now, 9 o'clock. Palace hosts Leicester.
So we got to pick these last two.
We do. I don't even know what to say. Leicester. I mean, Palace at home, it doesn't even matter. They're so inconsistent. I think Leicester is just smelling that blood in the water. They're just going to keep rolling. I think Leicester comes out with a nice 3-1 on the road.
3-1 on the road.
Let's see.
And I will give them a – man, even though Palace drew Arsenal, they're home.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go 2-0 Foxes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pick against that team. You'd be an idiot to
No,
pick against
not
that
right
team
now.
this year. They've been too hot.
We've both been kind of
Um,
riding on them recently. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
should be an interesting game. Sorry again to the DC brethren of Crystal Palace.
Sorry, guys.
But you should be happy because every time we pick against you, you do
You
something. You at least drew Arsenal last week. So, yeah, that's all I got on that one. And then
finally, 11:30 Sunday, we have Everton hosting the Tottenham Hotspur.
this is like taking two pieces of shit and just rubbing them together.
And it just
That's
makes
that's what this is.
it makes more shit,
Yeah.
and it smells worse.
You got two coaches that are super on the hot seat, at least on our hot seat.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Poach is kind of on the hot seat. They talk about it all the time. For some reason, I don't think Silva is on the national media as much as I think he is with us, although that I think is going to happen soon. Man, I got to pick this one first. Everton's been an absolute disappointment. The Spurs, I can't ever pick the Spurs.
Never.
So I got to go 2-1 Everton.
What?
Just because I picked up a little bit of lead this week
Game
and
changer.
I have the comfort to be able to do
You
that,
can
I
do
guess.
that.
You're going to make a comeback, I think, this week.
I think I'm going to pull a draw card this week and say 2-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both teams are kind of like, kind of in the same boat, really.
I was going to pull a draw card, too.
Managers can't get the players up, and ooh.
They're having trouble getting it up over and oh, man.
Perfect. But yeah, that's kind of the week 11 fixtures. Any red card, yellow card you can think of? One.
I'm not ready to go red yet. I mean, you know what? I'm going to go red. I'm going to go red on Xhaka. And they came out, I just saw recently, they still have no decision on his captaincy. I don't know if you got to sit down and ask the players or where this is going to come from, but
I mean, you have to go there.
yeah.
Well, besides I saw Bulgaria just got FIFA a sanction for racism against England.
Oh, good.
So more racism in this game. The lovely game we love. It's just
Yeah, so Bulgaria
Go with
will be
it.
playing some games in front of nobody is generally what happens.
Bulgaria gets my red card. As far as like being that middle yellow, I would probably have to go with I'd put This is difficult. I'm gonna say Palace this week.
Yeah.
They're just kind of disappointing.
They're going to
All
start dropping
around.
down that table, I think.
Yeah.
That
And again,
6
sorry
is
to
going
the
to look
DC
like
Palace
a 10
fans,
soon.
but you guys are kind of on notice for me, being because you're kind of slipping up here.
Yeah,
Kind of slipping up.
that's it, man.
So yeah, that's kind of our condensed red card, yellow card. I feel like we've talked enough about some of these guys and Granit Xhaka's situation, just him being a huge dickhead.
Yeah, he is a dick, and I hope he loses his
Yeah,
sleeve.
yeah, he's gonna lose a captaincy. But all right, guys, we are out of time.
Thank you.
So again, thank you so much. Again, follow us Facebook, Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify, iTunes,
Yep.
and we're on A2D.
A2D Radio, baby.
Love you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Late.